Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are pleased to be joined by Jerry Baxter, the crew chief of the number 43 Chevrolet for Richard Petty Motorsports, and Eric Jones. Jerry, how are you?
Not too bad. Kind of trying to recoup from last weekend in Martinsville. We had a pretty decent car, but then we ended up with a parts failure at the end and relegated to a 30th place finish. So that wasn't good, but hopefully we can turn that around at Richmond. Week before at Bristol, we were ninth, so everybody was real positive, and then things just happened. So
okay, so I know that I know this you've had some good moments this season, and you've probably had some moments that you would like to forget. But overall, the first 8 races of the year, how do you think you guys are doing?
Well, the team's meshing really good, and everybody loves the driver. Driver just seems so level-headed. It's amazing to me that he's as young as he is. He just seems like he's mature beyond his years, which is cool. Nobody loses their mind when something doesn't go right, so that's a pretty good thing. That's probably helped me, is actually. But yeah, I think we're all right. We just have to be able to get some more consistency, throughout. And I'm an advocate for the no practice, no qualifying thing, but at the same time, you're kind of sitting there once a week. You get to throw something at it that's off the simulation, and during the race, you really can't do a lot. So maybe we'd be better with that, but hard to say.
That's I want to get into that. That's kind of a topic of conversation,
Right.
in this year. Drivers sounding off. It's like, we want practice, we want qualifying and all that. And what makes benefits smaller teams like yourself, the JTGs, the front rows. What makes it? Why do you like the kind of the format that we're in right
now? There's a few reasons why it's a good thing. Obviously, the expense, the time put in can be sent to your primary car every week because you're not bringing a backup car. Right. If you have practice at all, even if it's 5 minutes, you have to have a backup car. That's just part of it. You have responsibilities, of course. So that's good things right there. It's also less time at the track, less days at the track, so the team is more recharged when they get there every weekend. Last year, when we had Bubba driving our car, I kind of felt like with the practice going on, if you have a driver like, say, Kyle Busch or Martin Truex or any of those guys, I kind of feel like, even if they can just make one run in practice, they can kind of tell them what they really think they're going to need. And it's not about needing it for that lap. It's about needing it for 500 miles or whatever the case is, where if you have a younger driver, they may not know what to do. So I kind of felt like with just the simulation tools that we have, that helped us. It helped us be closer to them with not being able to tune on their cars until the race starts. So there's good and some bads.
So I know that last year you worked with Bubba, and this year you're working with Eric Jones. I know 2 totally different drivers, but this year, what's it been like, transition from working with one driver to
another? I really haven't noticed that much of a difference. I mean, Eric's all in. He does a good job. He's whatever we need out of him, he's there. Very respectful. Bubba and I went back a long time. We were, worked together for quite some time. I think maybe in 2013 at Kyle Busch's, in 2014, I believe. We won a few races, so that was good. But I haven't really noticed a big anything. I think it's going well.
So, Eric and I'm the same age as Eric. So, maybe that calming presence could be, to be honest, yeah. 25. So it's quite the same there. But, when we're going to Richmond this week, short tracks, we've kind of been at basically every kind of track. We've been at a 1.5 miles. We've been at a super speedway. We've been on a road course. We've been on a dirt track. We've had our first short track of the year with Martinsville. We're going to Richmond. How do you feel like your short track package is coming along at a place like that?
Well, we've only gotten one under our belt, but as you said, we have got to race all the types of tracks now, whether it's road course or the speedway or the 1.5 miles. We've got to run them all. So I kind of believe that at this point in the season, I think we've ran about 8 races maybe. I got to believe at this point of the season, we better be used to each other. We better be okay. It's not like a learning thing anymore as far as us with him. But I feel like we've got enough information now that we should be able to do better week in and week out with all the different tracks we've ran.
You know, got different types of tracks, coming up. We got super speedway in Talladega, we got Kansas, we got, I think, Dover's coming up later in the year, Darlington, Coda, lots of all different types of tracks. What's it going to be like in, these next weeks down the stretch? What do you want to see out of these? What do you want to see out of the 43 guys?
Well, there's a lot of opportunities for sure. Obviously, Talladega is a big opportunity. Daytona, extremely fast car, and they had an early accident that got quite a bit of the field. I think it was lap 14, so that kind of busted that race up for us. We finished, I don't know, seventh or eighth or something like that in the what's called the clash or whatever before Daytona race on the road course, and then on the actual race, I think we were around 14th. So those are good signs. And a place like Coda, that's a good that he enjoys road racing, but that'll be more on our shoulders as far as trying to make the right call to get him a position to possibly win the race. So we're looking forward to that. Darlington, he just runs good there every time. So we don't want to let him down on that. So we'll put a lot of effort into Darlington for sure.
When with this next gen car coming up, I don't know how much you've kind of looked into that. I know it's going to be revealed within the next few weeks. How excited are you about this new car? And have you had a chance to, look at it, work on it, or something like that?
Uh, it's kind of back to what we were talking to before the show. Right now, our plate is pretty full with what we're doing with the current car, and I've looked at it and everything, but I don't really want to get sidetracked
Of course.
thinking about that at this point. I believe the delivery on the first car will be around the beginning of July. Then maybe by then things will change and we'll start looking more. But I really want to concentrate on our current car right now and get the best out of it.
Okay, so going into Richmond this weekend, as I said before, kind of like, second short track of the year. What does it take to get around? What's it take to get around a track like Richmond? What are some of the things that you, as a driver, you'll like have to, as you tell your drivers have you worked with over the years? What's it like to get around there?
Well, he's running on the simulator this afternoon for Richmond, so we'll get a lot more information on his style for that track. But ultimately, Richmond's always a place where it's hard on brakes, it's hard on everything, but you got to be able to roll the center of the corner, and you have to have drive on exit. So as long as we can, focus on those things, we'll probably be okay.
All right, Jerry Baxter, thank you so much for coming on, and good luck this weekend at Richmond.
Absolutely, anytime. Thank you.